I always wanted to be an actor, and that's how I started. And it just turned out in my life, for whatever reason, that I started being artistic director of one theatre or another. Occasionally I just write a play, and we'd produce it. As I used to like the murder mysteries. I played this detective who's kind of like my alter ego. Judgmental of other people, how dare you! So I gave him my same initials, Alfred Broadmoor. I was working at a theatre in London. I was artistic director of one of the big fringe theatres in London. I was in my late 20s. Murderer was a big hit for us, and our audiences clearly loved to see that dead body cut up on stage. So I wrote a play called Nightmare of a Married Man, and that was a big hit for us. So I started doing these things, and I think I got really good at it. And for a while I called myself the world's leading exponent of the world's least respected art form, because those things basically are complete bullshit. But I decided that that if I was going to write anything, I would try and write the truth, you know. You know, the older I get, the more I have a perception of how human life works. What has interested me is the big issues, the really big issues of human life, and then how that affects individual human beings. So probably my best piece of work is a play about World War I. You have the conflict within the family, the one brother who goes to war proudly and the other one who becomes a conscientious objector and is sent to prison. I based a lot of it on research, but essentially the central story was inspired by the relationship between my dad and his brother.
Of course I do. No, you have an obligation.
No, I have a higher obligation.
Wait, so you spend all that time training with the terriers, and now the time has come to fight and you run? How can you do that? How can you bloody well do that?
Oh, it's easy to accept the rifle and I hand it to you. It's harder to refuse it. Now, everybody talking about honor.
You know, is it right to fight or is it right to refuse to fight? There are wars in which America has come across that again and again and again. What is the conundrum at the heart of war, for instance? How can you write about war if you've never experienced combat? And a lot of people will say that, and for all that. Even a modestly competent writer like myself, if we can't put ourselves in the heads of the characters we're writing, then we're not writers. Somebody analyzing, you know, the way the mind matures and then eventually starts aging. And apparently when you get to be old, that's when you really start to reflect upon the spiritual things. What's the meaning of it all? I'm currently researching a play about Giordano Bruno, the Italian philosopher. This man's huge ego and intellect was obviously his strength, but it was also his downfall. I can't imagine somebody writing a poem about that, but why not? If you have to set up an end to all of space, and if anyone ran its course to the furthest shore and shot an arrow, however weakly or strongly, what do you think would happen? There would be some obstruction which would prohibit further flight, or that nothing would stop it, so that it continues on the path it was sent. But wherever it ends up, no doubt this is not the end either. Which is pretty cool. It's going to be the most difficult play I've ever written.